Hey everyone, it's me, Cynthia. Thank you for stopping by my channel today, Living with MS in Texas. I know it's been a while. I've had a lot going on. Just wanted to kind of update you on what is going on and what I've been doing. I think when I last posted a video, I spoke about following up with my neurologist. I'd had an MRI and wanted to follow up with her regarding the results, and of course a recommendation on a treatment plan, which, surprise surprise, she recommended that I start a DMT, disease modifying therapy. So for a little background, a reminder, this neurologist that I have now is number 4. And one of the things that she shared with me during our consultation after the MRI was the fact that people with multiple sclerosis, our brains shrink at a faster rate than people that don't have multiple sclerosis. So she's neurologist number 4, and she is the first one that ever mentioned that. So of course that's alarming, and when you look at the pictures and the comparison, you can actually see that there is some shrinkage. Now, how does that compare to, well, maybe if I didn't have MS? I don't know. So for that reason, because my disease itself is stable, but because there are studies that say our brains shrink at a faster rate, she recommended that I go on a therapy. So I got my choices, and the one that I chose was the pill Gilenya, and because out of my options, it appeared to be the one with the least side effects. So I thought, okay, let me try this one. And I'm sorry if the camera keeps moving, because I'm actually, I am in a chair here at the clinic, because today I will be starting my first dose of Gilenya. And one of the side effects of Gilenya, because we all know they have these wonderful side effects, is that it can slow your heart rate and your respiration. So among the many side effects, those are 2 that they're particularly concerned about. So whenever you start Gilenya, you have to show up in a medical clinic somewhere and first have an EKG, and then have your heart rate and respirations monitored for 6 hours. So that's what I'm doing today. I just popped the pill. I'm just looking at myself, these bags under the eyes. This is not, I didn't sleep at all last night, worried about, the worst case scenario, because, they tell you about all these side effects, and they may not happen to you, but they list them for a reason. So they've happened to some people. And when I tell you that when I've been on medication, those side effects that are listed, seem to be things that have happened to me. So I'm a little nervous, and I wish I had my GoPro, because then I could share this experience a little better. So I've just popped the pill, and the nurse will be back in, I think, a half hour to check my vitals, and then every hour thereafter for 6 hours. So it's going on 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be here all day. Yeah. So I will check in periodically during the day until we, get to the end, and hopefully all will be well. And I'm curious to know from any of you that have subscribed, that have multiple sclerosis, or your family members, is anybody on Gilenya? and what is or has been your experience. And also, did your neurologist ever mention to you that our brains shrink faster than those who don't have MS? I don't know. It's, just curious to know. Anyway, I'm going to check back in periodically throughout the day until this whole ordeal is over. Kind of feeling just a little, it's just a weird feeling. I'm nervous. And I feel like you guys are my family, and so you're right here with me. I'm thinking about you all. Okay. See you in a bit. Okay, you guys, just checking back in. I've been here a couple hours now. I've taken the dose of medicine, and I think I've had my vital signs taken 3 times. So the first time, everything was the same. The second time, dropped a little bit, and then the third time, it's just stable from there. So I'm really kind of tired, but the doctor is suggesting that I not go to sleep because going to sleep typically lowers your respirations or whatever. So and I think I'm tired because I really didn't sleep well last night, just in anticipation of this process and not knowing what to expect. So the doctor came in a little while ago and we were chatting about the brain shrinkage and the different things that we could do to help against that. And I don't know if you guys have heard this before, and I have, and do try to remember to do things that stimulate my brain. So I've got a Rubik's Cube that sits next to my bed. I do word find puzzles all the time. I completed my master's degree last year in December, and part of me entering school, and it was legal classes, law, was because of the complexity and that it would keep my mind stimulated. So reading, things of that nature. I think I'm going to take a conversational Spanish class. I live here in Texas, which I sometimes refer to as North Mexico, because there are a lot of Hispanic people in this area, and a lot of the signs that you see first are Spanish, which is great, that they have those signs that are there in Spanish and English, and having a second language could help you in different walks of life. Me as a mediator, it could expand my potential client base if I could speak Spanish. So, and it's going to help keep my brain challenged. So doing those type of things. Another thing that we should be doing is making sure we get those B12 vitamins and the omega-3 fatty acids, so the good fats that help with our brains and aid in that. So anyway, I'm still going to be here for another 3 hours or so, but so far so good. I'm feeling a lot better about everything because I was panicked because it seems like any side effect from these medications I do tend to get, but even though there's been a little bit of slowing down of my respirations and blood pressure, it's not anything drastic. So, and I'm sitting here, I can't go to sleep. I'm sure if I get up and walk around, maybe that would boost things back to where they need to be. Anyway, so far, relatively so good. Okay, I'll be back before I leave. Okay, so I'm back. We just did a few laps around the clinic. They want to get my heart rate up, and then I'll have to have an EKG before they release me to go home. So I just wanted to check in one last time from here in the clinic before she comes back in to check my vitals, and then I'm going to do an EKG, and prayerfully I will be able to go home and nothing will be amiss. I'm feeling a little better, still a little tired, but I don't know, I guess that's just all, part of the process of the medication, the effect that it has. So, or because I didn't get enough sleep last night. Either way, hopefully I'll be able to go home within the half hour or so. So I've been here about 6 hours today. It is not pleasant, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I've tried to keep myself busy doing some reading and a little bit of work and screening of clients and little Bible study and research online, and actually watching some TV too, staying connected. I got my little iPad to watch some TV. So anyway, like I said, this is the last time that I'm going to check in from here at the clinic, and then I will do like one last take when I get home after I feed the dogs, who I'm sure are not really understanding where I've been all day. But anyway, see you in a bit. Hey everyone, okay, I am finally back at home. So if you hear the whining in the background, one of my dogs whining, yeah, that's Rhett, he's the crybaby. But I had a little bit of scare at the end of this monitoring for Gilenya. After, taking your vitals every hour, I think I said this in the previous little clip, that my vitals were a little off, so we walked a little bit. The nurse and I walked around their clinic to get my heartbeat up, and then about 10 minutes after that, they needed to do another EKG. Well, the EKG wasn't normal. And so she repeated it. I think she maybe done it 3 times. And this is the nurse. And then the doctor came in to talk to me and explain to me that there was some abnormality there, and that it was just a little bit above, a number was a little bit above what they needed it to be. So she wanted me to repeat the EKG yet again. Better to be safe than sorry. It's like, sure. So she repeated the EKG, and then it was still abnormal. And then they waited a little while and repeated it again and consult with a cardiologist. And I think they tried to reach my neurologist. But long story short, they ended up letting me come home, but there was some abnormality in the EKG that troubled them a little bit, but I wasn't having chest pain. There was a number that was off, that was too high. I don't even begin to know. When I thought I was going to have to be admitted, I started freaking out because I'm thinking about my dogs at home alone, and they'd been there all day home alone, and I don't have anybody in this area to take care of them. So I was just kind of freaking out about that. But all's well that ends well, because they did allow me to come home. So now I got to decide, that episode scared me. So I'm wondering, do I really want to take this medicine? Is that what I have to look forward to? Is there, could it be that they didn't know what they were talking about? Is there really a problem that, I don't know. Of course, my daughter is telling me that I don't need to take this medicine. But again, so a lot of things are concerning me now because of the shrinkage of my brain. I want to reserve that. I've got to do a little bit more research. I know the omega-3 oils are what you need to be taking, and maybe I don't do it consistently enough. I need more. The doctor said today, animal protein. And I had, I keep going all over the place with my diet, but I don't want it to be so terrible in terms of, I tried the keto and that didn't work really. And so Then I went back to more of a vegetarian type diet and pescatarian, but maybe I'm not getting enough, maybe like sardines and salmon. And so I'm trying to do more of all that. And it's actually becoming quite overwhelming. And it's hard. I realize today that I'm in this by myself. I mean, I have family and friends that are kind of close. You know, I have a good friend that's like an hour away, but if I have a real emergency, what does that mean for my dogs? Like, I have to get some things in place to take care of them, and then just battling this disease on your own is quite depressing, and it made me realize today, like, I want that significant other in my life. Anyway, I'm digressing because that's not what I'm here to talk about today. So today it's about this whole process and the Gilenya, and I would really like to hear from anyone that's listening to this that that's on Gilenya, and how that first dose was for you, and how did you get through it, and is everything okay? So tonight I am actually not having wine. I mean, it's evening. You know, I was in this clinic like literally all day from 9 to 5. Like, I was going to a full-time job. Was not pleasant. And I couldn't even take a nap while I was there because they don't want you to sleep because your respirations decrease when you sleep. So again, it seems that all is well, and I guess only time is going to tell with that. I thank you guys for stopping by and following me on this journey and tagging along with me today. And I will keep you posted. I'm sorry, that's my crybaby emotional support dog there in the background who needs, I guess, some support from me. Hey, baby, come up here. Anyway, until next time, I want to thank you again for stopping by. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Share with family and friends. I'll keep you updated on my journey. And until next time, bye.